Hey, Sean, hope all is well with the family and dealing with the snow back there. Early in the second quarter, offense seemed to be a little frustrated. You have a conversation with Steph on the sidelines. I know you're not going to tell me what you said in the conversation, but I guess what was the theme and why did you feel it was important to have that conversation with one of your leaders then? Because it seemed to work, whatever you said, and it didn't become a distraction or anything.
Yeah, I mean, Steph is one of our leaders, so I just wanted to, offer a couple words of encouragement and settle everyone down. And I thought Steph did a great job of taking that message and running with it and putting his own signature on it.
How often have you done that in your coaching career, kind of pulled aside a player in that instance when the team's maybe squandering a little bit? You just kind of, is it a feel of, hey, I need to talk to him?
Yeah, probably more so. It's just a feel, you just kind of feel what we need and Steph was there. And, you don't want people pressing. And so you go to your captains, your leaders, and not just the captains, but just guys that carry influence in our locker room on our team. And in that case, it was Steph. And I thought, again, he did a great job.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
Coach, good afternoon. Mookie Hawkins, Buffalo Sports Cincinnati. Welcome back.
Thanks, Mookie.
Yeah, just to piggyback a little bit off of Dan there, when coaching players out of those shortcomings in game, what do you learn about yourself during those experiences?
Well, I think to be honest with you, I barely remembered it because you're just in the heat of the battle in the moment, and you're just naturally trying to read the situation and trying to do what you feel like your team needs the most. And I think that's what that we were all trying to do in that situation.
Absolutely, Coach. And, coaching in those certain situations, you went to the run, you stuck with it. How, impressed were you of Coach Cromer's approach up front with running the ball?
Yeah, I was good. I was happy to see that. I thought Coach Dorsey did a really good job of dialing those runs up, and Coach Cromer, the communication, the collaboration they had on the sideline, and then the guys executed the line and the tight ends. I mean, it takes everyone to run the ball well. The backs obviously hit the holes, and they did a good job overall.
Short work week, Coach. What will be the focus to maintain some of yesterday's success?
Well, I mean, listen, not all of it was where it needed to be. So we'll certainly happy with the result, but in the midst of all that, we've got to continue to improve as a football team. And I thought we made steps, took strides yesterday, and we've got 2 days, a little bit today and tomorrow, to continue to move in the right direction here.
No doubt, Coach. Happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels. Good luck Thursday.
All right, thanks, man.
Hi, Sean. What did you think of the defensive tackle play yesterday? The interior of the defensive line, especially Daquan, seemed like he started the game really strong.
Yeah, I mean, when you can hold that type of a running back to what they were able to hold him to, I thought that was pretty impressive. And the discipline, the gap integrity, the fundamentals that they had to use to do that, I think were very apparent on the film.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi, Sean. Just kind of jumping on that, kind of piggybacking a little bit on Mark's question there, but maybe broadening it out. In light of all of what your team had been through in order to get to Detroit and what had been happening, on the field, you talked about areas to correct. I mean, from my view, obviously running the running game, the run defense, both made very good strides. And Josh, going through whatever he went through with the offense early in that game, seemed to settle down and play a more patient, smart game. Would you agree with that in those three areas generally after watching the film? I guess that's my question.
Yes, I would, Adam. I mean, those are some of the strides that I felt like we made in the game was, being able to grow our offense in the running, in the way of running the ball effectively there. And Josh not getting off to a great start, but really finding his rhythm to the back half of the second quarter and all throughout the rest of the game. Made some really, really key throws later in the game in particular, and obviously before half. And that was great to see. And then taking care of the football the way that the offense did, I think deserves to be mentioned as well.
All right, and just a quick follow from me. This whole squirrel and brawn story has really taken off here and helping to get Josh out of his driveway and everything. And there are other examples of that. You've spoken to this before, but to what degree did this all maybe reaffirm what makes Buffalo unique as an NFL market?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it, and it's just it's unique. It's unique for a lot of reasons, and until you come here, you don't really understand this place. And when I came here, people, said to me who were born and raised here that it doesn't get the credit it deserves, and I would echo that now, having been here a few years. So, I think the biggest thing is the way that all the people stepped up for a common cause and a common purpose. And I mean, whether it's this situation or the many other situations that have happened around the city, you go back to the summer and what went down at the tops there, and just the way that people step up, at Oshai Hospital and raise the money they do to fund Oshai Hospital and the different initiatives. I think it's great. So we can't thank people enough. And listen, for us as a team, we got to move forward. It's a short turnaround, and we have to turn the page. And I'll let you guys write all you want about what happened last week, but for us, we got to move forward and get ready for the Lions.
Understood. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Sean. It's Jay with the Buffalo News. Along those lines, was everyone able to make it back home safely yesterday, and then in turn make it into the facility today? Because you guys in the South Towns there are still dealing with this situation.
Yeah, to my knowledge, to my awareness, Jay, everyone was able to make it home last night and then get back today. Everyone's accounted for here, so we're in good shape, and I'm sure the dig out continues in most of the Southtown areas down here.
And you expect to, be able to conduct a full practice tomorrow as such on a short week?
Yeah, we will have a full practice tomorrow, yes.
Yeah. Injury wise, AJ left the game. Mitch and David maybe seem to be dealing with something that we saw in the locker room. How did those three players in particular come out? And then if you could give us a rundown of some guys that missed the game. I'm thinking specifically of Tremaine, I guess.
Yeah, Tremaine and AJ. So two different, obviously, timelines on there when their injury occurred. Those two are going to be a stretch to make it this week. And then David and Mitch, I think you said, will be limited. Will be limited, as well as Greg Rousseau will be limited today.
Okay, and also with Tre'Davious White, do you anticipate potentially having him available, or do you know his availability for this week?
Yeah, again, we're taking it one day at a time. We'll see where that goes here.
Okay, thanks, Sean.
Sure. Is that it?
Matt, we're having trouble hearing you, so we're going to go to Catherine and come back.
Hey, Sean. I know Kyer Elam also wasn't able to go. I was wondering just kind of how is he doing, and wanted to ask about that group as a whole too. But first, just Kyer, what has he been like?
Yeah, he's getting better. And he, I thought he had albeit short practice week last week. He was moving in the right direction. So we'll see where he goes this week here.
With him out, still rotating Christian and Xavier, what was the decision there?
Just trying to see and continue to get a better feel for Xavier and what we have there. And again, always trying to, take different looks at our roster and the players that we have, whether it be on the practice squad or the active. And I think healthy competition's good.
What has it been like? I know this has been ongoing and we've poked at it so many times, but just when you look at what you've dealt with at cornerback as a whole this season, wanting to get different looks from guys, but also having to sometimes from so many injuries, how has it been just evaluating that group?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, they're a resilient group. They're extremely tough. We have a lot of confidence in all of them. Obviously, there's been some guys in and out of the lineup due to injury, and I applaud the guys for just staying so physically and mentally tough through the course of the season. So, there's some plays that we want back there from yesterday's game, and now it's about learning from that and improving some techniques and awareness and making the plays when they're there to be made.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Matt.
Sorry about that. We've talked a lot about Nyheim Hines the last couple of weeks as you guys have gotten him ramped up, and obviously fans see him in the return game and having some explosive plays. Do you foresee this week, maybe getting him more involved in the offense and having that priority to try to get him involved, even though you you guys are doing really well in the run game.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Naheem's done a nice job in the return game and special teams, and we'll just see where it goes. It's a short week, and we'll just see, how it goes this week as we move forward.
How has he handled everything in terms of, onboarding, getting up to speed on the system, and how eager is he maybe to get more involved?
Yeah, he's extremely eager young man, very aware, very smart. It's important to him. I love he's very urgent in his approach and his respect for the process, it seems, in the time we've been around each other. And as you've seen, he's done a nice job in the return game. And he's done more than that. He's covered kicks and covered punts, and he's done a great job.
And, Dane Jackson, somebody that you guys have relied upon so much, dating back to last Thanksgiving, when he had to come in and assume a larger role. In recent weeks, what have you seen out of him specifically yesterday in terms of maybe some struggles that he's having? I know you guys are playing some really good players, but what has been your assessment of his play?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done some really good things for us. Like I mentioned earlier, to the question earlier, he's extremely tough. He's been very dependable, consistent for us. If you all, going back to, the last year and the year before that, was some things he did as a rookie. So, he's going to learn from some of these, from the natural ups and downs of the position. And that's a position probably more than any on the football field where you've got to have a short memory. So we'll get him back this week and get him going again.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hey, Sean, I know you mentioned Trey you're still kind of waiting to see his availability this week, but is his status, is it more of what your team doctors are telling you, or is it more on Trey saying like, I don't think I'm ready to go? I guess, what are those conversations like, or is it a mix of both?
Yeah, it's just, I think I was asked a similar question last week. There's just more of a team decision and making sure he's ready and in a good spot here. So we'll just keep taking it, like I said, one day at a time here.
And I think you touched on it a little bit last night. And, we here in Buffalo and, people that cover the team, we see what Matt Milano's meant to this defense and what he's able to do. I think, nationally, some people say he's kind of underrated, but just from your perspective, I mean, what have you seen from him and how he's able to make such an impact week after week?
Yeah, that's, as long as everyone around here appreciates him, I think that's the most important thing. And they can keep him underrated on the national scene, and he'll just be our guy here. But we appreciate what he brings to our team and to our defense in this case for sure.
And then James Cook, he obviously went through some early season struggles, and now he's kind of starting to find a groove and a rhythm here, along with Devin, especially in yesterday's game. Just what has that been like to see his continued kind of progression and able to bounce back from those early season struggles?
Yeah, fun to watch. I think Coach Skipper and Coach Dorsey have done a real nice job of bringing him along the right way. As you mentioned, the struggle early in the year or two, and he's been able to learn from those and make the most of the opportunities he's been given. And then when he's done that, you earn more opportunities. And so his urgency has definitely ratcheted up over the last few weeks here.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hey, Sean, you had mentioned in an earlier answer about Josh having that slow start and working through it. I know he's been going through a lot lately. Is there anything you could attribute that start to, or when you guys are talking about it after, anything that stood out?
No, I think just they were playing some good defense and give them credit. And, everyone expects Josh to be Superman every game all the time and every throw. And I just love the fact that A, he's human, and B, that he was able to work himself through that. I mean, I think that says way more about him than probably most people give him credit for in terms of his performance yesterday. And I'm super proud of him for it.
Have you had to remind him that message more lately when, he had the injury, he's had turnovers? Like, is that something that you have reinforced more than usual? Just the idea of you don't have to always do it all?
Yeah, I just think, more than anything, I would say, Catherine, is just him being him. And, always want to remember where you come from, which he does a great job of doing that, being authentic and genuine. He's such a great person. And, I just think he's a great teammate. The guys love playing with him and on the same team and for him. And so he just needs to be Josh Allen.
Thanks.
Yep.
Hey, Sean, I was just curious, from a logistics perspective, you know, you guys have short weeks every year, but how much do you get to take from yesterday's game to kind of do you just kind of move on from it? How much do you look back at it versus like, do you have the time to do that given the constraints that this week involves?
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's important that we do look back and make sure that we, again, try and continue to grow as a team, as a defense, offense, special teams. And there's just necessary things you've got to do to make sure you're fixing some of the problems that we've had and trying to move forward in the right direction.
Is some of the success that goes into a week like this, like time management, like knowing like what to, because everything's so condensed compared to what you're able to do in a normal week, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, we've been through it before. So I think a big part of it is just, you know, being smart with our time, being smart with the players' time as well, and that they get their proper rest and that at the same time they're prepared for the job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean, I know you guys appreciate a normal week in football, but what type of honor is it to be chosen to play on Thanksgiving? I mean, this is going to be the third time you guys are playing on Thanksgiving since you became the head coach of the Bills. Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. For the players and coaches who have never done it before, I think it's an honor and, you know, fun to be a part of a tradition like that, especially playing at Detroit, who has traditionally played on Thanksgiving. And then, you know, just to be able to tell your kids one day, hey, you know, I coached on Thanksgiving Day, or I played in a Thanksgiving Day game and on television where most of the people will be watching and sitting at home and celebrating Thanksgiving with their families.
Thanks, Coach.
Sure.
That's all we have for today. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.